Hello all, it's me, the old deplorable basket case here. So today, in 1867, was signed the first two of the Medicine Lodge Treaties. The Medicine Lodge Treaties were a series of three treaties that are signed between the U.S. government and the first was with the Kiowa and Comanches, the second with the Kiowa Apache, which was signed the same day as the first, and the third was with the Southern Cheyenne and the Arapaho on October 28th, I think, which is a week later, right? It's 21st, right? So, a week later. Now, the Medicine Lodge treaties could be charitably described as being unequal treaties. They were essentially written by the U.S. government for the benefit of the U.S. And in the execution of these treaties, a lot of the rights and privileges that were given to these American nations by the treaty were completely disregarded. Kind of a horrible thing. Now, looking at this, I'm kind of reminded of what a lot of people say, that America is the new Rome. Because in the making of treaties like this, the USA did behave a lot like the Roman Empire. I say a lot like, but very different. Because while the U.S. did do horrible things like this, Americans do have a basic sense of decency, which the ancient Romans did not have. Really horrible people. As an example of what I mean, although the Medicine Lodge treaties were this horrible thing that was committed against these American nations, these American nations proceeded to sue the U.S. government in U.S. courts and won, and received large settlements. Okay, that never happened in Rome. You would never see that happen in Rome. Okay, as horrible as the USA could be, I would far rather be an Arapaho dealing with the U.S. government than a Celt dealing with the Romans. Any sane person would. Right. But there's a particular point I want to make about this. And this is a difficult thing for me to put into words, so please bear with me. I may ramble a bit. Excuse me. So the Medicine Lodge Treaty, as I said, is signed between the U.S. government and these particular American nations, and was a horrible thing. In some ways, it could be considered a crime committed against these American nations. This particular crime committed against these American nations, particular American nations, was not committed against, say, the Winnebago people, or the Cherokee people, or the Navajo people. And so there are a lot of people who talk about all the evils that were done by the white men against the Indians, and they talk in such broad, sweeping generalities that it's completely meaningless. Because, yes, there were things done. There were specific things done against specific people, against specific groups of people. And these are, what's the word? These can be itemized. These can be described. These are real things that happened. But there are a lot of people who don't want to do that. There are a lot of people who describe themselves as liberal people who actually insult me and call me a racist when I point out that the Cherokee people, for example, are a completely different nation from, say, the Kiowa people. They're different people with different different governments, different languages, different religions, different histories and cultures. They are completely different. And yet people who describe themselves as liberal, they're racist. They literally say all these people are alike. They refuse to see the differences between these peoples. And that is absolutely a racist. It's racist. It's a racist viewpoint. It's a racist thing to do. It's a racist things they say. And it really pisses me off. So, these American nations, the Kiowa, Southern Cheyenne, Arapaho, and Kiowa Apache, and I forget. I said it just now, I forget. Anyway, they managed to get justice. At least some sort of justice. But there are a lot of other nations that have not gotten justice. And so calling all American nations the same, calling all the members of these nations the same, does not help people get justice for the crimes that were committed against them. In fact, it impedes justice. Because, well, if for no other reason, because it makes every argument to try to get that justice stupid, based on a lie that all American nations are the same. I think I'm rambling a bit now. I warned you I probably would. It makes me really angry. And I wish people wouldn't do that. I don't say that because I'm part Cherokee. I am part Cherokee. I know I don't look it. I get all the Irish from my father's side. All the sisters get, all the females in the family get the Cherokee looks. All the boys get the Irish look. I don't know why. I digress. Anyway. Justice must be important. It must be important to us that justice be done. And for justice to be done, we must be truthful. We must look at every single crime, every single injustice, every single unequal treaty as it really is, and apply justice to it as is really needed. And I can't think how to end this. Like I said, a very important point. It's hard for me to put into words. But if you're still watching, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thanks for sticking with me and listening to my rambling. And please like, share, comment, subscribe, all that internet jazz. And have a good night, and God bless.